The lights flickered above. Cold neon strips running along the edge of the room. Warm lights lit up the shelves, casting a soft glow on rows of bottles. The air smelled rich with bar food, grilled meat, fried potatoes, and a sharp hint of whiskey. It wasn't too crowded, just the usual mix of captains, traders, and drifters passing through. I was sitting at the bar in the outreaches, a well-worn joint on ambitious station floating at Crew L1 near Crusader, a quiet place, at least on most nights. Behind the counter, Eugenia moved with a practiced ease. She was a thin red-headed, tattoos winding down her arms and across her back. She had a sharp eye and a quick hand, sliding drinks across the bar before anyone had to ask. Finishing my third tarantula, my favorite IPA, brewed with famous tangerines from Microtech greenhouses. The crisp bitterness lingered just right. Next to me, two older captains were talking, their voice raised just enough for the whole bar to hear. They wanted an audience. I tipped back the last of my beer and signaled for another. Eugenia slid a fresh pint in front of me, foam rising thick and smooth like the snowy peaks of Bloom's tallest mountains. I took a sip. Then one of the captains spoke. "John, it appeared again." His voice had an edge to it. "I swear I saw it on my radar," he insisted. John frowned, unimpressed. "You need to stop with these crazy stories." But the man wasn't letting go, and something about the way he said it made me listen. No, listen." Roman raised a hand, signaling for a shot of whiskey. "Let me buy you a drink, and I'll tell you what happened." He glanced at me. "You want one?" I nodded. Roman was in his late 60s. His beard a mix of white and gray, a deep scar running across his right cheek. He had the look of a man who had seen more than his share of close calls. We raised our glasses, and Roman shouted, "For the gods of quantum!" John laughed out loud. "You crazy son of a bitch." The bar erupted with chuckles. Kind of easy laughter that comes when you've been around long enough to know a good story always starts with a drink. Roman set his glass down and leaned in. I was hauling medicine out of Laurel, making my approach to Yella. Everything was fine until a power surge shut my engines down. His voice had a weight to it. The humor fading. I rebooted the systems. Nothing. Engines wouldn't fire. I was just floating out there in the dark. I leaned forward, my beer forgotten. Roman's eyes narrowed as he continued. Then I checked the radar, and there it was. John rolled his eyes, but Roman ignored him. I couldn't move. I was stuck, and it was coming right at me. A black caterpillar, yellow and gray stripes. I pinned it and switched on my scanner. He tapped the counter. Its engines were off. No life signs on board. John scoffed. Oh, get out of here. Roman shook his head. No, that was the one. You've heard the stories, haven't you? He paused, looking around the bar, making sure everyone was listening. I saw it with my own eyes. I took another sip. I had heard about that caterpillar before, first from my father when I was a kid, and later from countless stories whispered across the galaxy, the same description every time. Black hole with gray and yellow stripes. Some say it vanished centuries ago, lost in the void, never to be found. Others claim it was filled with gold. Ron leaned in. Okay, and then what happened? Roman exhaled, his finger tapping against his empty glass. It floated past me. Felt like almost an hour, just drifting. He shook his head. Then, as soon as it disappeared off my radar, my engines powered back on. Like nothing had ever happened. He paused, his voice dropping lower. I ran another scan, but there was nothing, no trace. But I saw it, less than a kilometer from me. His gaze darkened. Looked like it was heading towards the asteroid belt. Maybe Grim Hex. John snorted. You need to stop smoking maize, old man. You are losing your mind. Laughter rippled through the bar, but I wasn't laughing. I paid my tab and stood up, ready to head back to the hangar. It was time to continue my route. Pyro awaited, and my cargo hold was full of distilled spirits. But as I walked away, I couldn't shake the feeling creeping up in my spine. Maybe Roman was just another old captain with too many stories and too much whiskey in his blood. Or maybe he wasn't. And for some reason, the thought disturbed me.